Hello Muggles and welcome back to my Harry Potter Kitchen, the YouTube series where I am baking my way through the Harry Potter books, making a recipe for all the food and drink featured inside. If you missed last week's recipe where we kicked off the Great Hall Feast with a roast beef and horseradish sauce, then check out the link down below in the description to catch up. But it's another Magic Monday, so let's see what's waiting for us today. If you're a massive fan of all things Harry Potter and you don't want to miss a thing from my Harry Potter kitchen, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and click on the notification bell so you get an alert every Monday when there is a brand new video. Speaking of which, let's get back to the Great Hall. So as you can probably tell, we don't have to look very far for our next recipe. He had never seen so many things he'd like to eat on one table. Roast beef, roast chicken. Looks like we're making another roast. For this recipe, you will need a whole chicken to roast, 300 milliliters of buttermilk, salt, pepper, and 1 teaspoon of paprika. For our compound butter, we're going to use 100 grams of butter, 4 cloves of garlic, and then 1 teaspoon of salt, pepper, rosemary, thyme, paprika, and Cajun spice. You'll also need a lemon for roasting. We're also going to serve this up with a Peri Peri gravy. And for this you'll need 1 red onion, 4 cloves of garlic, half a cup of the juices from the roasted chicken, 1 chilli, I've gone for half red and half green, 2 tablespoons of corn flour, 1 tablespoon of tomato puree, half a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, and some dried chili flakes. Okay, so continuing our journey through the Great Hall Feast, this time we're going to do the ultimate roast chicken, and I'm going to show you how you can marinate it overnight in buttermilk to make sure that it's tender, juicy and succulent, and then we're also going to use a compound butter to season it. And it wouldn't be my Harry Potter kitchen without an accompanying sauce, so we're going to make a fiery Peri Peri gravy to go with this. If you've been to Nando's in the UK, you'll know all about Peri Peri, so we're going to make the roast chicken version of that famous sauce. To begin, we're going to prepare our marinade by adding our buttermilk into a bowl and then seasoning it with our salt, pepper and paprika. Stir this through until well combined. Take your whole chicken out, place it into the bowl and then generously cover it in the buttermilk, making sure you get it into all those nooks and crannies. You'll then want to submerge the chicken in the buttermilk, cover it with cling film, and then pop that into the fridge to chill overnight. Now, if you've ever wondered why restaurants and fast food joints serve buttermilk fried chicken, there is actually a science behind using buttermilk. And that is because there are acids in the buttermilk which will tenderize the meat while it marinates. This means it's going to break apart all of those protein strands and make it so much more tender and juicy when it cooks. And there's also less chance of you overcooking it and making it too dry. So for this recipe, we're going to marinate our chicken in that buttermilk overnight, preferably up to 24 hours to make sure we give it the best chance of being super juicy when it comes out of the oven. Before we prep the chicken to roast, we're going to make a compound butter, which basically means compounding lots of herbs and spices into your butter to flavour it. Add your butter into a bowl and then crush your garlic on top. You'll then want to season this, and I've gone with salt, pepper, rosemary, thyme, paprika and Cajun seasoning. You can then use your hands and get a little bit messy as you mix it all through. Be careful not to mix it too long though, as the heat from your hand will melt the butter. Once the chicken is well marinated, it's time to pop it into your roasting dish. Drizzle some olive oil into your roasting tin and then place your chicken on top. Now when it comes to seasoning your meat, it's not uncommon for people just to season the top and outside of the roast. But what this means is sometimes not all of your flavours permeate through the skin to the meat. So I'm going to show you a secret magic trick for where you can put your compound butter to make sure it gets right into the flesh of your chicken. Check this out. To make our roast extra fragrant, I've sliced a lemon in half and then popped them into the middle of the chicken. To apply the butter, pinch the skin at the top of the roast and then slide your fingers underneath the skin but above the flesh of the chicken breast. Be careful not to tear it, but you should gently work your way through, creating a gap between the flesh and the skin. This is going to create a compartment on either side of the breast for us to slide the compound butter in. Once they're filled with your butter, you can then rub the remaining compound butter along the sides, paying good attention to the wings and the drumsticks. Once you're happy with the seasoning, pop your chicken into the oven at 180 degrees Celsius. Now, just like with our roast beef, it is all about the timings to make sure we don't dry out our roast chicken. But unlike the beef, you can't choose whether you want your chicken to be rare, medium or well done. You need to make sure it's cooked through. So to do this, you want to cook it in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes plus 45 minutes for every kilogram of chicken you have. Make sure you take some time to work it out so you don't give anyone an upset tummy. Another way for you to test that your chicken is definitely cooked through is to remove it from the oven and then pierce between the drumstick, thigh and breast. At this point, you should see clear juices run out from the meat. If the juices are cloudy or red, pop it back into the oven for another 10 minutes or so. Now, as I said at the beginning, we're going to serve our roast chicken with a spicy peri peri gravy, and to give this as much chickeny flavour as possible, we're going to use all of those meat juices and butters that the chicken was roasting in. Now, even if you're not going to make the gravy as part of this recipe, definitely keep that chicken stock, because it's really useful if you want to make soups or stews going forward. So take it out, pour it into a jug, let it cool down and then freeze it, and it's there whenever you need it. To begin the gravy, I'm going to finely chop our red and green chilies until they're nice and fine. And then I'm also going to slice up the roasted onions, which you might have seen in our roast beef recipe. I've also got those roasted bits of garlic, so I'm going to pop them out of the skins. See how easy they come out once they're roasted. And then press them until they're nice and pureed. You'll then want to take your roasting dish and pop it onto your stove, but make sure it's one that you're able to apply direct heat to. We're using the roasting dish because all of those burnt and caramelized bits of chicken are going to give our gravy that rich flavour. Pop it on a medium heat and then add in your chilli, onions and garlic. While they're frying, it's time to make a slurry out of your corn flour and your water. Stir this through until it begins to form a thin paste. Once that's nice and smooth, add it into your onions and keep on stirring it through. You'll then want to pour in all of your chicken juices. For an extra kick of flavour, I've added in tomato puree, Worcestershire sauce and some dried chili flakes. Whisk this all through and then bring it up to the boil, where you'll notice the gravy starts to thicken. You can then add in some water to bring it to your desired consistency. Now, you can serve this just as it is, but if you prefer a smooth gravy, then all you need to do is strain that through a sieve to remove all of your vegetables. And we're done. All that's left to do is place your roasted chicken onto your serving platter, along with any garnishes and of course your peri peri gravy, and then slice away and let everybody tuck in. This roast chicken was honestly so juicy and so delicious. It might seem like a bit of effort to make, but it is definitely worth it. So try it out and let me know down in the comments what you thought. If you want to see more from my Harry Potter kitchen, then make sure you hit that subscribe button, click on the notification bell, and you'll get an alert every Magic Monday when there is a brand new recipe. That is all for now, but I will see you next week.